Welcome to Winging It. We're playing Arkham Horror, the card game today. This is Return to the Forgotten Age. I'm playing this through with Winifred and Jacqueline. They are two starter deck investigators, but I am not playing their starter decks, although amazingly Winifred did draw her her basic weakness from that deck, which is making me slightly crazy since I really don't like that weakness in her, but we do what we do, we take our chances, and sometimes it doesn't go our way. So anyway, if you look below, you can see a link to my deck videos where I go through each of their decks in detail, of all the cards they put in and why. And so let's go ahead and get started. Winifred is my lead investigator. I'm drawing up her opening hand, 5 cards. And we will get... Okay, well, we can get rid of arrogance. So lockpicks and Gregory Gry are awesome. They can be a source of income. Income for her. We don't need the backstab because we're not going to be fighting anything right off. Perception is going to be good for getting clues, so we'll keep that. We'll draw one more card. We want to keep the anything you can do better. We're just going to try to hold on to that for a while if we can. And we got an opportunist, so great. That anything you can do better is the way she can pass the willpower test. That would risk getting her poisoned. And so we will probably just try to keep it in her hand until then. Alright, let's look at Jacqueline's 5 cards. Alright, we got the Voice of Ra. That's nice for getting some resources. Crystal Pendulum. A Rite of Seeking. We are set up to investigate. I don't think we need the Dark Prophecy right now, and definitely not the Prescient. So we'll keep these. We can get some resources and get the Rite of Seeking going, and we can just blast through these investigations. Oh, another Rite of Seeking. Okay, and the Robes of Endless Night. Okay, so I think turn 1, yeah, we're going to get those robes out. Or do Voice of Ra, get the robes out, and then we will get the Rite of Seeking out, and then we're in fantastic shape to start really doing some things. She doesn't have an ally, which makes me concerned about Snakebite. So that's a problem. All right, so let's take a look at our act here, our agenda. Expedition into the wild. Your expedition has ventured far into the rainforest of southern Mexico in search of a forgotten Aztec city-state. What will you find when you head deeper into the untamed jungle? And then we have the action to explore. Exploring the rainforest. Today you depart for your camp in order to find the ruins Alejandro seeks. That is, if they exist. Objective. When the round ends, investigators in any non-campsite locations may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, and we're looking for 6 clues, which we can get usually off of victory point locations. Now, the return version has added new locations in, or a mix of potential new locations, and we no longer start with treacheries in the exploration deck, but we shuffle one in after we explore, which I will probably forget. It's just hard to remember. Okay, we're starting at the expedition camp. So we have, there is 1 shroud, 0 clues, you have the action to resign, and then you can check your supplies. If you have a map, which Jacqueline does, then you can look at the top 3 cards of the exploration deck, place 1 on the bottom and the other 2 on the top in any order. So the return version makes the change that you can do that from any location. You just don't have to be at the expedition camp location. So I'm going to have Winifred go first. She is going to spend 3 for lockpicks. She's going to spend 1, 2. She's going to take an action to take a resource, and then she's going to spend those 3 resources to play Gregory Gry, and then he gets 6 resources on him. So that is her 3 turns, 3 actions, I should say. But Gregory will hopefully allow her to get back her Everything's soon. Okay, so the first thing we do with Jacqueline is we are going to, action 1, we're going to play the Voice of Ra. So we gain 1 resource. So we'll gain 1 resource. And then we reveal 3 random tokens from the Chaos bag. We will use our ability to do 2 more. So revealing 5 tokens. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We get to cancel 2, so we only get 2 more for that. So it's a little bit disappointing, but it's okay. It was a fancy emergency cache that wasted her ability. All right. So then action 2 is to spend 3 resources for the Robes of Endless Night. And then we'll spend 2 resources for the Crystal Pendulum. Now, I could, that gives her a willpower boost. It also gives her the chance to draw cards. I could have put out the Rite of Seeking, but I can't use that anyway. So I'll just do it next turn, and I'll get a discount from Robes of Endless Night to play that. All right, so there's the first turn. Not very exciting. We are risking, by staying here and doing all this setup, we are risking getting that treachery that's in the return version that will just make sure you get a vengeance because you have to explore from this location. So I'll be very sad if that happens. All right, Winifred will get a nimble, okay, and then a resource. And then Jacqueline will get, word of protection. Okay, so she's got a defense against the snake bite, so that's nice. All right. 106 Doom. Wini will get an Etsley Guardian. He spawns at any empty location, ancient if available, and there are no valid targets, so he just goes away. So that is a miss. So there we go. We're validated for staying there. Okay, and then we get arrows from the trees. So Jackie takes 1 damage. And she doesn't have an ally out, so she doesn't get another one. So that's actually a good one to see early, although we end up shuffling it back in. But at least, it's not when we have an ally out. Okay, so I think now we explore with Jacqueline so that then Winnie can follow up and use her lockpicks and use Jacqueline's ability. But we're going to explore until we find VP location, which we probably don't find one right away. Actually, I'm sure it doesn't connect to one right away. So we'll see. Anyway, action 1, we're going to explore. And we get, okay, the Riverside Temple does connect. It's not a VP location. It's after any number of clues are discovered from the Riverside Temple. Check your supplies. If no investigator has chalk, which Jackie does, then shuffle an equal number of cards from the top of the encounter deck into the exploration deck. But we really have no motivation to explore from there, or to investigate there, because it's not a victory point location. So now we put a treachery in to the exploration deck. We'll shuffle that in, and she's there. So now I think we just keep going, just tank the treachery. If we get a snake, we'll feel kind of bad. But okay, so action 2, she's going to explore again. We get Circuitous Trail does not connect to that one. Trail of the Dead does connect, and that is a 2-shroud, 2-clue location, which makes me think that we may have to actually get more clues than off the victory point locations. I guess I misremembered the counts. Okay, but anyway, it's forced after you investigate or explore while the trail dead, check your supplies. If no investigator has binoculars, you take 1 horror. Okay, well, that would be Winifred who has the binoculars. Oh, we need to shuffle a treachery into the encounter deck. I've remembered twice. I'm getting better at the game, you guys. Okay, and now she'll exhaust the Robes of Endless Night, reducing the cost of playing a Rite of Seeking by 1, so it's 3. And we'll put 3 charges on it. Now her ability is still available. I'm tracking it with this, so that Wini can move, and then do an investigate with her lockpicks and not be at very high risk for breaking them. So that is exactly what Wini's going to do. She's going to move, and then she is going to... We could commit Perception and Opportunist to this to really crush the test, but there's no advantage right now. We will probably use those for more important tests later. Of course, if, the Perception might be nice for parlaying with Ishtaka, but I don't think I want to hold on to it that long. You really don't want to hold on to cards. Anyway, we're going to, so we're at 5, 6, 7, 8 to beat 2. We're going to gamble 3 from Gregory Gry, exhausting lockpicks. Okay. Yeah, so we're 8v2. We're going to use Jacqueline's ability, so we get to reveal 2 extra tokens and pick 1. And then we are going to say she will exhaust the Crystal Pendulum and say that the plan, the number that she's guessing is going to be 7. No, 6. It's going to be 6. And the reason is because that's a token of 0, because she's 6 above the test. She's at 5, 6, 7, 8, V2, and there's a lot of zeros. All the skulls are worth zeros. The zeros are worth zeros. There's 3. There's 6 tokens. So, we're revealing 3. And hopefully we can pull this out. Okay, we get a -5, a -2, and a -2. All right, so we don't succeed by 6. We do, however, succeed by 4, which allows her to get the resources from this and not break her lockpicks, and she gets a clue. So, not too bad. All right, that is the end of that. I didn't turn her turns, but she did a move, and then investigate. All right, for upkeep, Wini will get a well-connected. That might be useful if we can make a good deal of money. Which we're already at 5 resources, so with our 2 big assets out. Alright, and okay, there's Olive for Jacqueline. Get a resource, okay. Alright, we're at 2 of 6 Doom. Wini will get an Ancient Evils, can't cancel that, because the ward, Jacqueline has the ward, but it's only a ward level 0. And Jacqueline will get Arrows from the Trees, taking another damage. Alright, well, we got both of those out, I guess. That's before we put Olive out, so that's nice. Okay, so Wini could manage the Explorer deck, I suppose. She can get the clue, manage the, who does? No, it's Jackie who would manage the Explorer deck. Okay. I think we're just going to tank it for no good reason. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with lockpicks. We're going to exhaust lockpicks using Jacqueline's ability. Jacqueline will say that we're going to succeed by 6. We're going to gamble 3. Gregory Gry. Building 3 tokens. This is her first action. And we get an auto fail, a -1, and a +1. So we have to pick the +1 and -1. I mean, we could pick the auto fail, but then we break a lockpick. It actually does amount to succeeding by 6. So Jackie does get to draw, and she gets an Azure Flame. So she can be set up to fight here pretty well. Okay, and then when he does get the 3 resources for that, so that's pretty nice. So she kind of wants to play Well Connected and then Explore, and I think I'm just going to tank the Explorer. So we're going to spend 2 to play Well Connected. And then we will do the Explorer and just get a treachery out of there. I mean, it's one card that we can hit with the Explorer versus 2 that are the treacheries. So, all right, here we go. This is our last action, is the Explorer. So we get Boa Constrictor. That is unfortunate. He's a hunter. After Boa Constrictor attacks you during the next upkeep phase, your exhausted cards cannot ready. So she's going to take a damage and a horror, and her lockpicks will not ready. We could just kill it and be done with the Vengeance too. So there's an argument for doing that, because he could really slow us down. But the thing is that Wini also has Nimble. So what I'm tempted to do then with I think I will play Azure Flame with Jacqueline just in case she draws an enemy, and then she'll explore. So we will exhaust the Robes of Endless Night, spend 2 on an Azure Flame. This does mean now that she can't play her Ward of Protection. So if she gets a Snake Bite, she's going to feel really bad. As a matter of fact, I'm regretting this choice already. So that was action 1. I think I am just going to take a resource so I can Ward of Protection if I get a Snake Bite. And then we'll explore. Alright, so we're exploring. We get not the Circuitous Trail. The River Canyon is a match. So it's a 4-Shroud, 2-clue location. Take an action to heal 1 damage from an investigator at River Canyons. Check your supplies. If you have a canteen, you can heal additional 2 damage. We don't have a canteen. And then we have to shuffle another treachery into the exploration deck. So we have 2 locations and 2 treacheries in the exploration deck. Pretty brutal. Okay, so we played the Azure Flame, we took the resource, and then we did the Explorer, right? Alright. So now Winnie takes a damage and horror. She'll put the horror on Gregory, and she'll take damage. And she can't use lockpicks, sadly. Alright. It is Upkeep. Winnie will grab another lockpicks. Wow. Well. Okay, and then she'll get a resource. Jackie get a guts and a resource. Okay, we're at 4 or 6 doom, and Winnie will draw Overgrowth. Okay, so we're gonna have to attach this location. We can't explore from this location, which is a little bit painful because this will be it explores to one of the VP locations later. And we could test with a 4 fight or a 3 intellect, both of which are tests that she might be able to pass. I have more intellect icons than fight icons in this. But anyway, attaches there. That's the way that works. Okay, and then Jacqueline will get Resentful Wilds. We will Ward of Protection this. We'll put horror on her. And actually, we can exhaust the... we don't have to spend the resource. We can exhaust the Robes of Endless Night to play the Ward of Protection. So, I said Snakebite and Ancient Evils, but this will actually cost us a lot if it goes on the location. Because it means we can't explore from there. So now, the issue here is, can I explore and get to... I want to put out Olive. Ideally, I would explore and get the other location out. Oh, I got this clue, right? Yeah, I got that clue. So we can't get Olive out and do the next location because we won't have enough resources for it. I think that we go ahead and do the map action because we can. So we'll do the map action. And we will look at the top 3 cards. Okay, well, we have an Overgrowth, which would be kind of painful. We have a Voice of the Jungle, and we have a Waterfall. Okay, so the Waterfall would connect, but we don't care about the clues there. We could get the clues off of that, though. So the Waterfall is when you investigate the Waterfall, check your supplies. If an investigator at Waterfall's rope, reduce its trial by 3. After you fail a skill test while investigating the Waterfall, discard 1 card from your card at random. Alright. So, we could just put Voice of the... Okay, so we got to figure out which we want to put on top. We're going to put Overgrowth on the bottom. We can put Voice of the Jungle and Waterfall on top. And then we have a way to explore down. We can get the clues off Waterfall, which we should be able to do. And we can get the clues off there, and then the circuitous trail, which will cost us money, resources to be able to do. So, okay. I think earlier I was talking about spending resources, and it may have been like, why are you talking about spending resources to investigate? And it's because I know that you got to spend resources to investigate the circuitous trail, unless we can find an intel report. But even that would cost resources. So, okay. Next action, she's going to explore. We know we're going to hit the Voice of the Jungle. We put it under play. If we at the end of our turn, if we did not successfully investigate, take our explore. You take 1 horror. And then we'll explore again, and we know that we'll get the Waterfall. Okay. So she is there. She did explore. She doesn't take a horror. And we know that what's left is the Overgrowth and the circuitous trail, which is not too bad. Okay, now we need to evade this boa constrictor. So we will evade. We're at 5v2. We'll commit Nimble and Opportunist to be 5, 6, 7 v2, and we'll well connected to be 8 v2. Obviously, we want to succeed by a lot so we can get lots of moves with Nimble, and because we want to, because I'd like to get Opportunist back. Oh, and we get to draw a card from Wini. Wini gets an Arrogance. Okay, you must commit it to each eligible skill test, and you get -1, okay, until we fail. So we don't have to do that to this one, because you draw that after your commit phase. Okay, it's -3. So we were, what did I say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. We succeeded by 3. We get the Opportunist back in our hand. And Nimble goes away, but we succeed by 3. We can move 3 locations. So we'll go to 1, 2, 3 to go here. And this guy is evaded. Okay, then we'll spend 3 resources to play another copy of Lockpicks. And then we will exhaust Lockpicks, gambling 3 off of Gregory Gry. And we are at 5, 6, 7, 8 to beat 4. I'm going to commit the Perception and the Opportunist and draw a card, which is a quick thinking. Oh, and we have to commit the Arrogance. So we are at 5, 6, 7, 8. These cancel each other out. 9, 10 to beat 4. We're going to say that we're succeed by 6. Exhausting the Crystal Pendulum, drawing 3 tokens. And what was the effect on this? When you investigate, check your supplies. If an investigator has rope, reduces shot by 3. Okay, and after you fail a test, you discard one card right here. Okay, we get 0 plus 1, and so we said we were going to succeed by 6. We were at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get to draw a card from Perception. We get Opportunist back in our hand. So we draw another Gregory Gry. Awesome. We get the 3 resources from this Gregory Gry, who we now need to kill off. And Jacqueline gets to draw a card. She will get another Olive McBride. And, of course, we did, in fact, get a clue. All right. So my plan will be to go in and Rite of Seeking the circuitous trail. All right. All right. These guys are all ready. This guy ready's. And then we get Backstab, sort of ready to fight, I guess, which is, you know, when the Doom advances, we're going to be ready to fight. And then Jacqueline gets Arbiter of Fates. Oh, man. I wish I had more resources on her because yeah, it's just going to be painful spending those resources to get clues off that location. All right. We are at 5 of 6 Doom. And drawing encounters, we get a Pit Viper on Wini. Okay, that's where we want it to be, on a location that we're not planning on staying at. Okay, and then Jacqueline will get Resentful Wilds. What's a semi... so this, I canceled this earlier. The revelations take 1 horror and attach Resentful Wilds to the nearest location without a copy of Resentful Wilds attached. After you successfully explore while at attached location, add Resentful Wilds to the victory display. So this is going to slow me down because I don't want to explore from here. And we have the potential of getting out a Overgrowth. But actually, I think I have a guarantee of how to do this. So... I've got a plan. So the very first thing we're going to do is Winifred is going to she's going to evade. She's at 5v3 on the Pit Viper. We have to commit Arrogance. 5v3 will commit let's see. Oh, and we need to take a horror. Jacqueline takes a horror. We need to get Olive down, actually. Okay. So we're going to commit Arrogance, Quick Thinking, Opportunist on this evade. That gets rid of 5. This cancels out 6. We're at 6v3. And I guess we'll commit the Backstab, because we have Azure Flame, which should have 1 more charge on it, to be able to fight later. Okay, so this will give her an extra action if we succeed by enough. We're at 5, 6. Okay. These 2 cancel out. 5, 6, 7. B3. I think I don't commit. 6v3 is fine. Yeah. 6v3 is fine. We committed Opportunist Quick Thinking. Oh, we want to succeed by 2. Yeah. We'll draw a card. We get another Quick Thinking. We'll use Jacqueline's ability on this. Saying we're going to succeed by 3. We will, I already did it. Yeah. Oh, actually, we'll use Well Connected on this. No, we'll use Well Connected on the next test. Up by 3 is fine. Okay, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I did, when I said we're going to succeed by 3, I meant the crystal pendulum. And so we have to take both of these, but since we don't, the skulls are worth 0, so we actually did succeed by 3, which means we do get Opportunist back into our hand. This was an action, but we get an action back for quick thinking. So we got lots of actions here. And this Pit Viper is evaded. And Jacqueline gets to draw a card from the Crystal Pendulum. She gets another Crystal Pendulum. So pretty decent. Okay, and then we can investigate using lockpicks. If we break a lockpick, it's not the end of the world. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8. We have to commit arrogance to this. Where did I put arrogance? Still out there. So we're up. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 to beat 4. And what happens if we fail? You have to discard one random card from your hand. Not ideal, but we'll be okay. Okay, we're at 7v4 with the arrogance committed. There are no negative 4s in the bag, so okay, this is her. Yeah, I have 2 actions remaining. Okay, -1. So we don't break the lockpick. We do get the clue. Alright. So that is action. Okay, she has 2 more actions left. She's going to move here for an action, and she's going to explore here, which has the... Did I shuffle in 1? I know I shuffled in 1 when we did this. You know what? Oh, we needed to have shuffled 1 more in. So this is not the amazing plan I thought it was, because I thought I was going to get that 1 treachery out. Alright. Alright, well anyway, she is still going to explore, and she will get... Okay, Overgrowth. That was the plan, to get the Overgrowth up here, since we knew there was no targets. Alright, so I think what makes sense now is for Jacqueline to move through River Canyon, to use her ability to look at the deck, and then to explore safely. Yeah. Alright, so she'll move. And this Wini being up here means the boa constrictor can hunt that way. All right, so we're using her ability, the map ability to look at the top 2 cards. Okay, we have a snake bite. Okay, well, knowing that's in there is good. And then the circuitous trail, which is a 1 shroud, 2 clue location, and as additional cost, you have to spend 3 resources. So that's why we've been saving our resources, which feels pretty bad. As I still want to get Olive out, and Arbiter of Fates out, and she has all this great stuff. But she can get 2 clues with 1 action with Rite of Seeking. So that's why I was kind of thinking she would do it. So, okay, so I ordered them and then I explored. I didn't quite resolve that correctly, but I hope that makes sense. If she can get these 2 clues, then we can advance, which then means Ishtaka shows up, and I don't think we're set up to parlay her, sadly, but it is what it is. Okay, the boa constrictor hunts. Wini will draw Perception. Well, maybe she could do the parlay, actually. Okay. And she gets a resource. I'd really want Jacqueline to be at her location if I was going to do that. Alright, and then Jacqueline will get a Dark Prophecy. Alrighty then. And now the agenda advances, the infamous moment. It's sad to be arrogant when you're having to do this bit. Alright, so after hours of exploration and futile attempts to map out the wilds, You're convinced that something is watching your progress, stalking your every move. The shapes of large serpentine creatures slither in the brush all around you. You try to back away, but the creatures have you completely surrounded, hissing at you from all sides. Suddenly, several shapes emerge from the brush. Human-sized creatures with the bodies of serpents and arms wielding spears and jagged knives. The creatures are savage, attacking you fiercely. Somehow you manage to flee safely, though the sensation you are being watched remains. Although you survive the encounter, you are confronted with a stark reality. This place is home to creatures beyond your understanding. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and set aside Agents of Yig set into the encounter deck. So we'll do that. We have them over here. At least we only have one Resentful Wilds, because we've got one out on the table, which is pretty good. Oh, we should have shuffled into, when we revealed the circuitous trail, we should have shuffled something into here. So it's there. All right. So we know there's a snake bite and something else. Okay, and now each investigator has 3 willpower. Each investigator who fails performs the following. Basically, you get poisoned. So, Wini is, she's 1v3, but she has to commit arrogance. So she's now at 0v3. She's going to commit anything you can do better, which gives her 6 icons. So she's now at 6v3. Will commit opportunist and quick thinking. Actually, will not commit the quick thinking. We don't really need it. Maybe we do, actually. I think there's better chances for that. And we will use well connected, which gives us another icon. So we're actually at 7v3, 8v3. Yeah, 8v3 with opportunists. And we committed 2 skill cards, so we get the draw card, and we get a watch this. Oh, too bad we can't commit this. That would be nice. But okay, we're fine. So now she's testing this 3 willpower. Or, yeah, 3 willpower. She's up by 5. Okay, she passes. Excellent. She passes by a lot, so she gets Opportunist back into her hand. This is the reason we held on to anything you can do better. Okay, so great. Now it is Jacqueline's turn. She is at 6v3. We will commit the guts to this. So we're at 6, 7, 8v3. We will use her ability and say that we're going to succeed by 5. Because we're 5 up and the skulls are still worth 0. So 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. It's -2 if you're poisoned. This test automatically fails. So, yep, we fail, sadly. So she takes a poison. What are the odds there that she would fail that? That's really, really awful. So I'll just say this because it's pretty hilarious. I actually I played this through once before. I did this recording and I used the wrong encounter sets, so I had to redo this this run, and they actually did really, really well. They got like almost all the VP the first time through. But in that one, also, Jacqueline used her ability and failed that test. So, what are you going to do? Yeah. And Winnie passed it. Let's see, this guy should be ready. All right, so now we got a new agenda, which is Agenda 2A, Intruders. What was once excitement has turned to dread. The place is deadlier than you could have imagined. It is as though the jungle itself wants you out. And then you can take an action to explore. Same thing. Okay. So we're still trying to get our clues, and now we draw encounter cards. And now we have to actually contend with enemies. I guess Jacqueline doesn't have to worry about snakebite that much anymore, though. All right, we got a Pit Viper on Wini, which is where we want it. And then we got onto Jacqueline. We get the Resentful Wilds. Well, this actually is terrible because we worked so hard to avoid that. That means we can't get the VP location out here without taking a vengeance, but it's probably worth it. All right. Wow. I worked so hard to avoid that. We're going to evade this Pit Viper. We are at 5-4. We have to commit that. Maybe we just try to fail this actually and get rid of arrogance. Because we don't need like the action advantage right now. Yeah, we'll do it. I'm just going to commit the arrogance and we'll just go at 4v3. First action. Okay, that's an Elder Sign, which is after this, for every 2 points you succeed by return a card you committed to this test to your hand. So we get arrogance back, but he's evaded and it costs us nothing. Okay, so then I think we just move to the Circuitous Trail. And then we're there and able to... they can be together so they can just help each other out. Okay, so I think what she's going to do is... we're going to take a resource. We're going to take 2 resources so we can play Arbiter of Fates. And then we will be able to Arbiter of Fates the Ichtaka, and we can get her dealt with next turn. Yeah. So we will take a resource for action 1, take a resource for action 2. And then last action, we will we will use a Rite of Seeking. And we are at 5v1. We will use her ability. No, we already used her ability. 5v1. No, we're 6v1. We're up by 5. That's pretty good. We're going to take a horror from Voice of the Jungle, actually. Okay, so actually we're going to take 1 less resource. And we are going to test Voice of the Jungle. We are at 6v3. This is testing Voice of the Jungle. And then we will do the Rite of Seeking, which would have cost us 3 resources as well. So yeah, clearing Voice of the Jungle. 0. Okay, so that's cleared. And then we'll use Rite of Seeking, spending 3 resources. We're at 6. We're up by 5. And we'll have enough to pay Arbiter of Fates next time. Nice 2. Alright, she passes, gets these 2 clues. Alright. So this snake hunts, this one readies. And we do Upkeep. So Opportunist is in my discard pile. I don't remember losing it. But we're going to say I did because I don't want to cheat. So if I made a mistake on that, I made a mistake on that. I'd rather risk it. Okay, so Wini will draw and she'll get a Nimble. And a resource. And Jacqueline will get a Storm of Spirits and a resource. Okay. And then they will advance, spending all 6 clues. Okay, and the act is here covered by snakes, as you do. As you explore the dense jungle, you are suddenly confronted by several natives. At first glance, they appear to be warriors of an Aztec city-state, but how could they have survived undiscovered for so long? Even with Alejandro's notes, you are barely able to translate what the warriors say, only that they call you intruder and implore you to leave the jungle at once. You try to explain that you are searching for Etzli, which causes them to murmur and debate among themselves. Finally, one of them speaks to you in rudimentary Spanish. Ichtaca will know what to do with you, intruder. He blows on a decorated ocarina, producing a shrill note that echoes throughout the jungle. The warriors depart as suddenly as they arrived. And so we put the set-aside Ichtaca enemy into play at the lead investigator's location and shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So here we have Ichtaca. She is a 5/4/4. She's alert, retaliate. She's a parley for intellect to convince her that you are not her enemy. If you succeed, place one clue from the token bank on her. If you fail and Ichtaca is ready, she attacks you. So yuck. We're going to put her on Wini. Alright, and then we shuffle the encounter deck. This Voice of the Jungle goes into the encounter deck. So I just realized I made the boa hunt up there, but he can't. I mean, he needs to. Actually, yeah, he has to go here, unfortunately. All right, and then we will get. Let's see, where are we at? We're drawing encounters. Oh no, we're looking at the next act. Huntress of the Etzli. I don't trust them, Alejandro says as soon as the natives are out of earshot. They mean to kill us and not aid us. If you think this Ichtaca is going to help us find the ruins, be my guest. But I refuse to follow where she leads. You can feel the discomfort and confusion in Alejandro's voice. You can attempt to speak with Ichtaca, or you can take Alejandro's advice and fight your way into the ruins you seek. If Ichtaca is defeated, advance. If there are 2 clues on Ichtaca, place her in the victory display and advance. So I always prefer in two-handed to parlay with her, if I can do it, because it turns off the arrows from the trees and the Etzli Guardians. But I just don't know if it's possible, especially with arrogance in my hand. I have the perception, so she'd be up by 1. We could evade her first, which is not a terrible idea. She hits for 2 damage. It's not amazing. I mean, being up by 1 is probably okay. We have no vengeance in the victory display. Let's see, this crystal pendulum is not. Well, anyway, we have encounter cards, so let's deal with that first before I spend too much time planning. Okay, we get a Brood of Yig, okay, on Wini. And we get Voice of the Jungle back again on Jacqueline. Okay. So, we're going to have to tank a hit from the Boa Constrictor, which is not going to be awesome. Actually, Jacqueline can probably just kill the Brood Yig. Maybe. Actually, if we evade it, she can Storm of Spirits to do a lot more damage next time. Yes. But she will not have enough resources to do it. Alright, well anyway, first action, because we want to do things, we're going to play the Arbiter of Fates. So we'll just put it here. I think we take a resource, and then we, with the Azure Flame, if we take a damage, it's okay. Shoot the Brood of Yig, and then next time, like, can we just punch it? I mean, the Storm of Spirits will be enough. I think we need to test the... Yeah, we'll take a resource, and then we're going to test Voice of the Jungle. Actually, yeah, we'll test Voice of the Jungle. So we are at 6v3 for this Voice of the Jungle. We just don't want to take a bunch of horror. While we still have not been able to get Olive down, and it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon. Okay, that's 0 because there's no vengeance in the victory display. Voice of the Jungle is gone. What if we could backstab the Brood of Yig, actually? Well, let's see. If we could evade Ichtaka, can we succeed by 3? Watch this nimble, quick thinking. Okay. If we commit, I think we do need to evade Ichtaka. This arrogance is really, really, really causing me problems. No, it's not. Okay, it's fine. We will, we can commit this Gregory Gry, but we don't want to. Okay. We will commit Perception and Quick Thinking and Arrogance to do the parlay with Ichtaka, which means we're at 3, 4, 5. We're up by 2, which is pretty reasonable. We're going to use Arbiter of Fates, and we'll use Crystal Pendulum to say that we're succeeding by 2. And we get to draw a card because we're committing 2 cards. And we get Slip Away. That could be super useful. Okay. Up by 2, drawing 3, saying we're going to succeed by 2. One, 2, 3. Okay. We pulled the Elder Sign, which is awesome. Doesn't get a card draw for Jacqueline, but it does get let's see, we succeeded by how much? We were up by 2, we get plus for 3, we succeeded by 3, and so we can get one of our cards back. And we get an extra action from Quick Thinking, because we succeeded by 2. Yeah, so we'll lose the Quick Thinking, we'll keep the Perception, and then we get the card draw from the Perception, which is a Sneak Attack. Okay. Got a handful of cards here. All right. So we still have 3 actions because of that Quick Thinking. Next, we are going to, again, commit Arrogance and Perception. I want to keep the Slip Away, so we'll commit Sneak Attack, and we'll draw a card. We're now parlaying at 3, 4, 5. We can get 6, 7 with Well Connected. We're drawing a card. Find Clothes. That would have been nice. All right. So we're at 7 v4. We're using Jacqueline's ability since we used Arbiter last time. And this is her actual action. We'll just do that. Okay. Pick the 0. We get to draw a card. Oh, wait. We should have drawn a card from committing 2 cards. I don't remember if I did that. I didn't. Okay, so the card we got from committing those cards was Reckless. So this is going to cost me resources if I don't succeed a test by... if we don't succeed a test without committing icons to it. But we do draw a card from Perception, which is Lucky Cigarette Case. Nice. Okay. All right, so until we clear Arrogance, we can't clear Reckless, unfortunately. But we did successfully parlay Ichtaka twice. She goes into the victory display, and we advance the act. Okay, she has 2 clues on her, which she did, even though I didn't put them there. Interesting. You are not simply here to shed blood, Ichtaka says, with a spark of wonder in her voice. And you are stunned to hear her speaking in perfect English. Remember that Ichtaka is leading the way. We have to add a occultist token to the bag for the remainder of the campaign. Shuffle the 3 set-aside ruins locations into the exploration deck. And advance to Act 3A, search for the ruins. Alright, so we're going to drop one of those in there. The occultist is the number of locations in play, max 5, so it's just worth 5 all the time now. Okay, and we're going to search for the ruins next. Search for the ruins. If I cannot dissuade you, so be it. Follow me, and I will lead you to the place you seek. But heed my warning. Disturb the ruins at your own risk. They have remained hidden for a reason. Alejandro rarely keeps a safe distance from Ichitaka and shows you the way. Each Etzli guardian enemy cannot attack or be attacked. Ignore the effects of each arrows from the tree of treachery. Objective: only investigators of the ruins of Etzli can spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. Okay. And we need to shuffle these locations into here. So I think we just go work on the other side of the map, and because the resentful wilds plus spending resources here and evading that pit viper there to just seems really rough. And I can't get rid of this silly. I can't get rid of reckless because I have to commit arrogance. So just a bad situation all around. Okay. And I guess we don't really need the lucky cigarette case right now. All right, so we are going to do our best here. We're going to spend 3 resources to play sneak attack or backstab. Backstab against the Brute of Yig. There's no vengeance in the vengeance display yet, thankfully. Okay, so we're at 5v2. Commit. Watch this with 3 resources on it, and we'll commit nimble and fine clothes to be 5, 6, 7. We want to be at we have to commit arrogance, so we're at 6v2. I guess we'll just lose our resources if we fail. Okay, because unfortunately we have the -5 in the bag now, but it is what it is. At least we get rid of arrogance, which will save us resources. So. All right, again, we're at 5, 6, 7 v2 to backstab. Okay, that is her locations in play, so that is awesome. We lose our money from watch this. We're suddenly poor. Oh, we draw a card when he draws an intel report. So we lose our nimble, our fine clothes, and our arrogance, at least. Okay, so now we will just evade at 5v2, committing reckless. So we're 5v2. Man, did that ever hurt. I'd kind of like to fail this, actually, but... Oh, we did. Okay, so Reckless is gone. Great. Okay. Alright, so the Brute of Yig hits us, kills Gregory. The Boa Constrictor comes in and hits us. We take a damage and a horror. And then we do Upkeep. This is fine. Everything is fine. And Wini will draw another intel report. And Jacqueline will get ritual candles. And a resource. Okay. We are at... I think we should be at 2 Doom. I think I didn't put a Doom on last time. Yeah. Alright. So we're at 2 of 9 Doom. And Winnie will draw... And this well-connected doesn't an Ancient Evils ready. So we're at 3 of 9 Doom. Okay, we're back. I realized I had shuffled the unused locations into the encounter deck somehow. So I removed them. Okay, and we get another Ancient Evils, which we cannot ward. Okay, now the clock is getting really dangerous. We're at 4 of 9. Okay, and Winnie's got these two guys on her. So I guess we get to the other side of the map. Or we could just... we don't have a lot of resources to explore from this side of the map, sadly. But Winnie wants to go first because she wants to use the abilities here. Okay, so we are going to invade at 5v2. We could do Slip Away on the Boa Constrictor to keep him out of the things. Yeah, we will. Okay, so we're playing Slip Away, which we add our Intellect to our Evade. So we're evading at 8v2. We're going to say that we succeed by 6. And we're using Arbiter of Fates, use Jacqueline's ability, and we use Crystal Pendulum to say we're going to succeed by 6. 3 tokens. This is to evade the Boa Constrictor. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. We didn't commit anything, but we also didn't succeed by 6. So Boa Constrictor is evaded, and we'll put a little marker on him because he doesn't ready next time. We're going to evade. That was our first action. Second action, we're going to evade the Brood of Yig. We're going to use Jacqueline's ability on this one. We're at 5v... 5v3... 5v2. 23 tokens. So 1, 2, 3. Well, there's our zeros. Alright, Brood of Yig is evaded, and now we just get out of here. Last action, we move. Alright. Now it makes me wonder if we could beat this Overgrowth test Intellect. She's at 3. She could be at 4. And the skulls are 0. So actually she might be able to do that. She can commit Rite of Seeking. Or she could just play the Ritual Candles. Move, play the Ritual Candles. And then next turn she should be able to do the Overgrowth. Sounds good to me. Okay. So yeah, Jacqueline will move, and spend 1 resource. Well, yeah. We could just... You know what? We'll just play Dark Prophecy now. As long as we get the skulls on it. Oh, and we're going to commit Rite of Seeking. So we're at 4 to beat 4 on this Overgrowth test. We're revealing 5 tokens. And if we're going to try... We're aiming to grab a skull. Because we would pass on skulls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we take that and we lose. Okay. Unfortunate. And we lost Rite of Seeking, but I don't think we were going to be using it anyway. Okay. This guy readies. This guy readies. But Winifred has the... she has the intel reports, actually. So she could smash that test pretty easily. She grabs a card, she gets a lucky cigarette case, and she gets that. Okay. And then Jacqueline will draw Internal Injury. She's going to take a damage at the end of her turn. This guy is not ready, actually. And then she gets a resource. Alright. We're at 5 of 9 Doom. I think we can get the location out here and then the final location. I think that's our goal. Alright, and then Winnie will draw an Ancient Evils. Okay, we're at 6. Now that's got to make me wonder. We're at 6 of 9 Doom. We got 3 turns. Can we do it? I don't know. And Jacqueline will get Best Laid Plans. She can lose 2 actions or shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into the exploration deck. She is going to lose 2 actions. Alright, so I think Wini moves, plays Gregory Gry, and then does the Overgrowth test. And then, yeah, Jacqueline just probably explores. Alright, Wini moves. Action 1. Action 2, she'll spend 3 for Gregory Gry. And then she will take the test. She is at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, putting 3 from Gregory Gry into this, and she draws a card because she committed 2 cards. She gets an Opportunist. Okay, so again, we're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to beat 4. We're going to say that we succeed by 3 on the Crystal Pendulum using Arbiter of Fates. Three tokens. Okay, there's the 0, the Elder Sign, or the, that would let's get an intel report back, right? Because actually we could get both back, right? Because it would be at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're going to take that. We get the 3 resources from Gregory Gry. We get the 2 intel reports back. And we get rid of the Overgrowth. And sorry, Jacqueline, you don't get to draw a card. So now I think Wini can probably get like all the clues we need. Jacqueline just needs to clear the encounter deck for us. So she will, for her 1 action, we'll go ahead and just do the do the Explore. So we explore, we get arrows from the trees, we ignore that. So excellent. There are now 4 cards in here, only 1 of which is a treachery. Okay, this Brood of Yig hunts. This Boa Constrictor is ready. And Wini will draw a sneak attack. Okay, good, I guess. Jacqueline will draw a Guts. 3 resources. Alright, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we have no Ancient Evils to worry about, so. Okay, Etzli Guardian. Put him anywhere. Ancient location, there are none. We ignore damage from him, so we're good. Just keeping our tempo, and then we get another Etzli Guardian, which I don't think there's actually an empty location we can put him at, so he just blanks, but it doesn't actually matter. Okay. Cool. So Wini is going to be our way to get clues. So we just need to tank the deck from Jacqueline. So Jacqueline will spend her first action, and she ultimately has to be at the location where Wini's getting clues. But she will draw, and she gets Snake Bite. Okay. So she doesn't have an ally, so she's going to fail this, and she'll take 1 direct damage and be poisoned, but she's already poisoned, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so we're testing at 2v3. Oh, and she took a damage at the end of her turn because of internal injury? No, we just drew that. Yeah. Did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, so we should have taken direct damage. Okay. This Well Connected is ready, with 1 icon at least. Okay, that is 0. So she still fails and takes direct damage. I just realized, are there enough clues? We need to get... I hope so. Okay, she will do it again. I don't think there are any more treacheries in the exploration deck. So we get the Ruins of Etzli. Okay. So now we'll put this down here. Let's see. Let's look at it. It is, there are 4 clues, 3 shroud. After you fail skill test, we'll investigate the ruins of Etsley. Draw the top card of the encounter deck. It's victory 2. She's going to get hit by the boa constrictor, actually, if she stays there. So I think she does not want to stay there. So she will take her last action to move back. Well, she's going to get hit by the Bird of Yig. But there's nothing much I can do about that. So would she rather just be in the location with the boa constrictor? I think so. This damage is going to be it's going to kind of be a big deal. So she will, and we have to shuffle a treachery into the exploration deck. But she can use her lax action to set that up. Or does she get 2 clues and then let me think. So what I think I do here, I think she can survive the damage because she has the Robes of Endless Night. So what we're going to do is we will use her Arbiter of Fates and we will investigate to get those 2 clues because because we have to win the next turn. And, oh, actually, no. Just kidding. We need to make sure that Wini can get the 2 clues and get out of here. So, yeah, we need to look at the Explorer deck. So she will use her action to look at the top 3 cards of the Explorer deck. So the first one is the Temple of the Fang, which is the one that we're looking for. Yeah, it gets +1 shroud for each vengeance points in the victory state. Okay, so we'll put that one on top, and then the other 2 are just the Overgrown Ruins and a Curse of Yig, which we will put. I mean, it doesn't matter which order we put them in. Okay, so that is her last action. She takes a damage. All right. So then Wini will do her first action is to explore, which puts that in, and we shuffle a treachery into the encounter deck. All right, and there are 2 clues here. Alright, we have 2 actions left. We get both clues, move to the Trail of the Dead, and that gives us a little bit more security. It does mean the Bird of Yig hands onto us, but I think we got lots of damage in Horror Soak, so we just do it. So, let's see, we spend 4 resources, though. The problem is, if we spend 4 resources, we can't play another Intel Report next turn, can we? Still, we save the actions. Or we could move to the Ruins of Etsley. We could play 6 Intel Report to get the Temple of the Fang. Yes, because it's from 2 locations away, right? Up to 2 connections away. Okay, yeah. So then we just go move and move. Right? And then we don't have to deal with the Brood of Yig. We get the Temple of the Fang. We can get the Temple of the Fang with an Intel Report, spending 6 resources, and then Jacqueline can Rite of Seeking the other one. So I think we put the Boa Constrictor comes on to Wini, who takes a damage in Horror. Put the Horror on Gregory Gry. In retrospect, I wish I hadn't played Gregory Gry. He just cost me an action, basically. But whatever. Alright, we're okay. Okay. And then we, with the Brood of Yig, we'll just have Hunt to the Circuitous Trail. And then Winnie will draw. I'm out of here. Okay. She could resign if she needs to. Resource. She has enough now to get the from the Temple of Fang. Okay, and then we get a deny existence from Jacqueline. Alright. So she can survive things. Alright, we are now at 8 of 9 doom. But we know there's no ancient evils, so we're okay. And we draw Winifred gets creeping poison. That puts a damage. We'll put her, just kill the endless robes. That puts a damage on Jacqueline. That surges into a pit viper. Okay, well that's a little bit problematic. We'll still have to evade it. That's okay. And then Jacqueline will get a snake bite. This will not kill her. Okay. So we're taking a 2v3. Okay, that is -0. She would have passed, but she doesn't. She takes a direct damage. So that's fine. We'll give her a direct damage. We can deny existence on it, but it doesn't kill her. So it's okay. Alright, so now she is going to investigate with the right of seeking, committing guts. So she's at 6, 7, 8. Might as well throw everything in at this. 9. Of course, we auto-fail if we pull that one token, but okay. We'll just go 10, 11, 12, 13. So the reason I'm just doing all of this into this test, actually, is because if I pull an auto-fail and any other 2 tokens, I have to resolve them. But maybe I want to save something back for the next one. So yeah, we won't do that. Okay, so we'll commit that to be 6. So we're at 6, 7, 8. And because if we draw the one that, she would be poisoned, and that would end her turn. Yeah, that would be bad. So 6, 7, 8. And we'll commit an Olive McBride to be 9, and a Storm of Spirits to be 10. And that way, even if we get an autofail and have to resolve 2 other tokens, we still might be able to do it. Alright, so we already paid for the right of seeking. We're resolving 3 tokens using Arbiter of Fates. Crystal Pendulum. I guess we're not going to worry about drawing a card. We're already going to draw a card with Guts. I don't want to get her weakness, actually. So that would make Winnie's life, well, I guess not so big. Okay, so we resolve the 0 and the +1. Let me get 2 clues. And we draw a card, which is Shriveling. And that card draws from Guts. Okay, then we will go ahead and use her last Right of Seeking to get these 2 clues. So that Winnie doesn't have to. And we'll commit the Crystal Pendulum, the Right of Seeking, the Olive McBride to be, and we'll use her ability to be at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, resolving 3 tokens. 1, 2, and 3. We get the autofail, but we still resolve the 2 zeros. So we get the 2 clues. The autofail does end her turn, though. So I was going to engage the Pit Viper off of Winnie, but now that's not an option. Okay, so we will evade the Pit Viper. We'll use Well Connected. We're at 5, 6, committing, I'm out of here, 7, 8. We'll commit Opportunist 9 and draw a card, which is Hatchet Man. Okay, so we're at 9v3, drawing 1 token. Okay, 0. So we pass by a lot. We get the Opportunist back. And then we will spend 6 resources to play Intel Report to get these 2 clues. And then we are done. We turn in our 6 clues. Fortunately, we have 1 medicine, so Jacqueline can heal up, so she doesn't take any permanent damage. And we get R1, Discovery of a Lifetime. What you have found is beyond your wildest expectations. Several aspects of the architecture are strangely futuristic. You set out to investigate R1. So, for victory points, we get the 2 from here, the 2 from here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 5, 6. And then we get 1 from Itaka. So 7 victory points. We didn't get the VP enemy. How deep was he? He would have gotten the next round, but we would have advanced because we were at 8 to him. So, I mean, that's the way it is two-handed. You don't always get the VP enemies. And it would have been, I mean, I guess we had enough Azure Flame to kill him. But they did okay. They did good. Actually, I mean, only 1 poison, and we got past all of that. We have medicine, so I think we're in good shape. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Return to TFA. We're going on next time to do the Doom of Etzli, so I will see you there on Winging It.